first of all, do you want to talk a little bit about yourself and the things that have made you the person you are? Perhaps we could start with your earlier life. And if there's anything you don't want to talk about, you don't need
to. Thanks, Jeni. Yeah. My name is Sweeta. I am from Afghanistan, and I have been in Swansea more than 2 years, 2.5 years. My family still not in Afghanistan at the moment. They are in Pakistan, but during this time was really hard for me to separate from my family. And yeah, when I was in Afghanistan, I was a women activist. I had two kind of business in Afghanistan. And I worked a lot. And when I was in Afghanistan, I had lots of job to do. But in here, I'm a student at the moment. I'm a student, and before lockdown, before quarantine, I had job as well in here. And any other question you can ask me.
I think you're trying to answer everything all at once, aren't you? Let's take it in bits. You were married at what age? Yeah.
When I was 13 years old, it was a forced marriage, and I think everything in my life changed in that time, because I was a child. And my marriage was forced marriage, and from that time everything has changed in my life. And that time I know, even I was child, but I know I have to manage everything in my life, because nobody was with me to help me to manage anything for me. And all that things happened to my life was like a lesson, and I learned to have to fight with life, and I have to manage my life.
That is an extraordinary thing to say, really, for people outside who don't understand child marriage. It always appears to be a moment of supreme oppression, but in a way for you, it stimulated you to become an activist. That's what you're saying, yeah?
Yes, actually it was not easy for me and for every woman in Afghanistan. It is not easy, because you know Afghanistan land for men, not for women. And but the other side, I had to find job, and I had to fight with my life and with my family, with my husband's family, because in my husband family it is not allowed to for women to go out of the house, the home, and for job or work. But it's it's it was really not easy for me, and I had lots of bad experience in my life, because it was that time my office was far away from my house. It's just one example. It was far away from my house, but I had to, every day I had to long way. I just it was allowed to by walk, no by taxi, no by anything else, because it was not allowed to for me to contact with any men.
Yes, yes.
And like this, I had a lot of problem. But when they saw I have some money, to find some money for my life, and I can cover my life, myself and my children, it slowly was better for me. And I could find job, and and all my problems in my life, when I saw I decided to fight with life and be a woman activist. Encouraged me, all this problem encouraged me to be a woman activist.
Yes, yeah. So you had 2 children very early then? Yeah. And you had a boy and a girl. And that must have been different as well, bringing up the 2 of them.
Actually, the first child, when I was 14 years old, the first child, my child came. And my daughter, after 4 or 5 years later, came born. But both of them at the moment in Pakistan, and it's long time they are waiting for visa and all.
Yes.
This
2.5 years, isn't it? More than 2.5
yes,
years.
yeah, more than 2.5 years. Yes.
Yeah. You wrote some very beautiful poems about this that are on the COVID Chronicles. So you were talking about going to your office. How did you get education in order to go to work, and what sort of work did you manage to do?
When I was in Afghanistan?
Yes, yes, when you were in Afghanistan.
In Afghanistan, women, most of time women with cover all the body covering. And the first we just walked and covering until we arrived to the office. And in my office, no men to allow to come the office, and it is not allowed to for us to contact with any men. But many years later, because I had 2 kind of business as well.
Right.
Actually, when I was in the office, I had to contact with men, because it you know, it's impossible.
So what,
especially in Afghanistan.
What was your office? What was it? What were you doing in the office?
In office, in my office, it was office just for activists for women. I was woman activist, and all my project was about women right.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had to contact men.
Yes. Yeah. Most of the time, I had to contact with men because all the rule in Afghanistan depend to men, and the men decide for women. Everything is on men.
Yeah.
And yes, I had to.
Yeah. So you were working as an activist and organizing projects. What kind of projects did you do to help women?
It was about forced marriage because I had experience in this case. It was about divorce. It's really taboo in Afghanistan. And for some project for handmade, we had some project to learn for women to make something like jewellery, like something to find money, to earn money for themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Economic projects.
Yeah. So you yourself then had a business as a jewellery maker.
Yeah.
And you designed that very beautiful dancing lady, dancing for freedom pendant, which was also the logo of your company, wasn't it? Could you talk a little bit about her business? How did you manage to sell things? How did you manage the business in a society which didn't allow women to engage in transactions with men?
One day I decide to make a company, and the first I talked with my friend, please make this company, but no, I don't want to know my husband or my family. This company is me. Yeah, and still I have that my friend still in Afghanistan, and she helps me a lot because company was mine, but under name my friend.
Yes. Yes.
I just that time I just said for my family, for my husband or my father-in-law, I work with my friend. This company is not me.
Yeah.
I just work with she. And the logo, always I thought about, it was a dream for me. Women is like men.
Yeah.
Why everything is for men? Why not for women?
Yeah.
And my logo was freedom, free woman, and dance like a dance for me, because when I am depressed and I have lots of problem and I can't do anything, I think just with dance I can make calm myself. It's a good way for me.
Yes.
And the other side for this free woman is, I think, fly just not, you can't fly just with your wings. You can with your mind,
Yeah.
with your feel, and every time you can achieve something, and you find something or something new, and you promote, and you have achievement. It's flying.
Yes.
It's a new step in your life.
There is a very famous book by an American feminist called Fear of Flying. And I will send you a lovely short story by Catherine Merriman, who's a Welsh writer, which is about women who can fly, but not when men are there. Very lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, I have experience in this case, because every time I can't do anything, I fly with my mind. I fly.
Yeah. And you do too. I mean, I'm astonished. You've come to this country, and in 2.5 years, you've learnt English. And I've been all my life trying to learn Welsh, and I'm not as good as you. But I think brilliant, and really. So let me see. You went on. You were working in an office of activists. You were running a business. Having to keep all this away from your husband and his family, and bringing up 2 children. That sounds difficult enough. How did you end up doing media? Because you ended up working in the media as well, and doing things like social media.
Yeah. The first, I just write news because I really like writing. And when I was there, I just write something, write, and put on the social media. And all my friends said for me, "Oh, your writing is good." And some media said for me to, I had contact with the local media, and sometimes I write something for media, write report or news, some research for media. And it was really good because it was a good, they give me, that time they give me good money for that job, and I enjoyed with writing. And sometimes they invited me to come to the media. The first, it was really hard for me, and slowly I said, and I really had bad experience the first when my family saw me on the media.
On TV.
Yes, yeah. The first, I write some news or report for them, or something, some piece of writing for them, and then they invited me to come to the media. It was really, yeah, I had bad experience in this case.
Yeah.
You know, the first, when you have a problem, you think you have 2 choices. One choice is you ignore it because it's a bad things for you. You can ignore it. And the other thing is you can accept this with problem. And if you ignore it, no good, no bad things happen. But if you accept this, maybe it has problem, but maybe happen good things as well.
Yes.
And always I accept this in my life.
Yes.
Because ignore is I'm not a robot, I'm a human.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do something, because if I do not something, if you ignore everything, you like a robot, you just stay here, and I don't want to stay here. I want to go on with all the problems, with all the challenge.
So how did you overcome this with your family? Because you started going on television quite a bit. What happened? How did you manage it?
You know, one night I was out of my home all the night. It was cold night. It was the result, the first result for when I was the first time in the media. All night was I was in out of my house, and it was not allowed for me to go home. And after that, they had to accept this, because I passed that. It happened. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
And wow. It was more and more, many times happened to me after that.
What, they locked you out? Or yes. You just got more and more work? Or both?
Yeah, after that time, I found something for why I did this. I said I had to, or something, another things I said for them, and they had to accept. But it was really not easy for me. It was really not easy.
Very, very, I can't imagine, but yeah. So, you were appearing regularly on TV, you were writing news, you were running your own business, you were promoting projects for women, you were looking after your children. And I'm not going to ask you about your case or how you ended up here, because I think that's too personal, unless you wanted to talk about it, but I think it is a bit personal. But the reason for inviting on this is because you are a wonderful, rich individual who can contribute a great deal to here. So can you tell me about, you came here 2.5 years ago, you had to learn English, you had to leave your children behind, then you were doing well, you had a job, you had the promise of a job in the college over the summer doing social media, didn't you?
Yes.
And then COVID came. So how did that affect you?
When I came to the UK, my family didn't know about this, because it was not allowed for me to travel another country without men, without my husband or somebody with me. And when I came here, my picture, that company, when invited me to here, they put, it was UNDP, and they took picture and put on the social media.
Oh, I see.
Yes. And my family knows I traveled to the UK.
Right.
And I couldn't go back to Afghanistan.
Right. I see.
And lots of bad things about me. And
I'm so
that
sorry, Sweeta. I'm so sorry.
yes, and my mom, I said for my mom, please um, save my children, just save my children, because my children is all my worth.
Yeah.
And I talked with my friend, please give them a room, and my family come to your house.
Yeah.
And now it is 2 years, more than 2 years. My family, my mom and my children was with my friend.
Mm. And then they moved to Pakistan. Yeah.
Sorry.
And then they moved to Pakistan. How did that happen?
Yes, yeah. And my friend helps me to, they moved to the Kabul and then in Pakistan. And they now at the moment they are, I'm happy because when they was in Afghanistan was very bad time for me. And every time my mobile always on my hand and my eyes on my screen, because every time I was waiting for bad news.
Yes. Yes.
But now at the moment everything is better than because at the moment they are in Pakistan and they are waiting for visa, and I'm a little calm and yeah, feeling
more
better.
excited. I think excited as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm so pleased.
beside I miss them a lot. Because I worry about they was in danger.
Mm.
Their life was in danger. That's why I had lots of worry and lots of things in my mind.
Yeah. So was the danger to do with the situation, or was it to do with your ex-husband's family?
Yeah, exactly. Because when I came to here, my husband and my father-in-law, they talked with my mom and they said very bad things to my mom. And yeah, if they find and know where is my family, where is my children, oh, it really very bad for me and for my family, for my children.
Yeah. So now they're safe, thank goodness. Yeah. Yeah. So now,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
And now, when I came before lockdown, before lockdown was really good, not very good, but I had a job and I had college, and I thought, okay, everything is well good soon, and I was waiting for my family join me, but lockdown and pandemic damage everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I lost my job and everywhere closed. And in this last year, I had lots of problems, Jeni.
Yeah.
I can't explain for you. It was a really, really hard time for me because I thought nobody understand me, nobody hear me, and nobody can help me.
Mm.
And my children, my family was in bad situation in Afghanistan, and I'm here, and all the doors was closed for me.
Yeah. Yeah. But you have come through. And that is wonderful. And now you're starting to write as well in English. Do you have an opportunity to write for Afghani news from abroad, or do you keep clear of that?
Again, this year, I think, bring me good things. And now, like when you fall down and stand again, always all my life, up and down. And now again, I stand again, and I have, I think I have good days come to me, because these days I have lots of online class, and I have a good opportunity in here with Welsh government. It's a training about business. I hope I can, after this training, start my own business, hopefully. And now my family in Pakistan, and they are waiting for visa. Hopefully they can get visa soon and join me. It's really a good picture in my mind, and every day, every second, every time, I'm waiting for that time. And yes, I have a good opportunity to write something, piece of writing and poem and everything. I feel I can write and put the social media and website. It's really good for me, and I'm really happy.
Oh, that is so good to hear.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll finish this, because that's a really nice way to finish an International Women's Day, the strength of women succeeding. You did a very beautiful picture by using oil pastels, which is, I've posted on the COVID Chronicles as well. And you gave it the most fantastic name. It's a group of women, and for anyone listening to this video, I recommend that you look at Sweeta's picture, look at her poems, and you have called it that they let us go and we hugged each other more tightly. Is that right? Yeah.
Title, like
the name of the drawing. You called it that.
The name of drawing.
You called it "They Let Us Go and We Hugged Each Other More Tightly."
Yes, yeah. I really like these sentences.
Yes, I liked it very much too.
And it's really true, and it is my experience, because in very bad and hard situation, I had a good connection, and I have good friends in here. All my friends is women, and they save me. They save me and my family. And I have 2 friends in Afghanistan, 2 ladies really helped me all that hard time, and good friends in here. This picture, this drawing is really real my life, and this sentence as well.
Well, I think that's a lovely point to finish on, and I hope very much you hear your good news very soon. So
Thank you so much.